In this video, I'm going to be explaining how to swap the Raspberry Pi compute module on a sensor station. To start, turn your station off using this black power switch. Next, find your compute module, which is this guy right here. If my camera will focus, right here. And it's a good idea to kind of press on this compute module, press it towards the board to get a sense of what the proper spring pressure should look like. It's hard to see, but as I press this down, it springs right back up. I don't have to force it. It's very easy to do, and it's locked in its place. To see that a little bit better, here's a board without an enclosure case. This is the compute module here. It sits beneath the screen, and as I was saying, you should be able to press it down and it should spring right back in its place. So to take the old board out, come back over to this station. There are two metal tabs that actually probably better to see on this one. There's two metal tabs, one on either side of the board, that you need to kind of open up in order to release the compute module. So this is looking down from the top. You can either do it with a fingernail or you could use a screwdriver or something like that. But essentially, you just pull that over like that, and you can see that side releases. And you'll do the same with this clip over here. And I'm going to set the camera down for a second because you have to do both of them at the same time, which usually requires both hands. Okay, so I just released it. You should see it spring forward towards the screen. And in this case, you can see it can move a lot this way, and it can also pull straight out, like so. So that's your compute module. And to reinstall it, you're essentially just going to slot it back into place. And you should press firmly, but not too hard. And you should hear it kind of snap into place. Once it feels like it firmly went in, you should be able to press it straight back, and it should snap right into its clips. If it doesn't easily snap in on its own, it's likely that it hasn't seated all the way, so try to firmly press it down into its slots. And then your final step to make sure that it's in all the way is to do that same test where you press it straight back towards the board, and it should spring back up to its original spot. So I'll quickly do that on this one in the box as well. So again, make sure your station's turned off. You'll come in and release those two metal clips. Kind of have to do it by feel because you can't see behind the screen very well. And I was lucky on this one, I was able to do it with one hand, and then it just pulls straight out. You'll take your new compute module, should look the same. And you'll just slide it in, feel around for those slots, and then again you'll press firmly straight down, and when it feels like there, if you could hear that little click and it feels nice and firm in there, you gently push straight back, and I just heard it click in, and I do that final test by pressing it towards the board and confirming that it springs back forward. In this case, you can turn your station back on and make sure that your web UI comes up. Make sure that everything looks as it should on there, and you're all set.